This conference will now be recorded.
Monday, February 21st, 2020 at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N, Cottage Grove at 7 p.m. There will be a public hearing for proposed amendments to Chapter 15 Land Division and Planning Code of the Town Code of Ordinances. Anyone wishing to speak on that?
I just have a couple of comments. I did add a note about conditional use permit applications needing to be 21 days, not 14 days ahead of the plan commission. And then a question to you of, should we just do 21 for everything? Because oftentimes we are scrambling. So there are a few other places in here that mention 2 weeks before the next plan commission. And I guess if I had my way, I would just say 3 weeks, 21 days.
3 weeks.
For all of those, that would help a lot, because so many times there's like clarification between me and the county and back to the petitioner, and 2 weeks gets kind of tight.
Yeah.
So,
I noticed that. I circled it on here too.
and then the another thing is, you may have noticed there are a lot of cross references that aren't exactly right. I will clean that up when it's done, but it doesn't make sense to go clean all that up until we have a final draft here. But some of those did get out of sync a little bit in the whole revision process. And then one other thing I wanted to point out, in this ordinance, and actually in our current ordinance, it talks about certified survey maps need to be recommended by the plan commission and approved by the town board. Our sort of not mode of action has been that those preliminary certified survey maps usually come in with a rezone, and then the town board approves the final one. And I don't know if that exactly fits with this procedure or not. If you think it does, then we're fine. Obviously, if we get a CSM that doesn't have a rezone, that still needs to go back to the plan commission to start with. So I just kind of noticed that process. And,
You're saying everyone doesn't have to go back to planning commission?
well, but usually when there's a rezone, there's a land division at the same time, and they have a preliminary certified survey map that is pretty close. But then by the time it goes through the rezone and everything, sometimes it changes a bit, and so the final one comes back to the board. That's how we've been doing it, and we've been taking that plan commission recommendation on the preliminary one as their chance, and not sending the final one back and adding that step back in. So,
Well, that's the way it should be, actually.
yeah. So as long
Is
as,
that what we do now?
yeah, that's.
But it doesn't really say that.
Well, if you read the ordinance, it says a CSM which has been recommended by the plan commission and approved by the town board and meets all the requirements of the statutes may be utilized to create lots. So, like I said, the plan commission isn't always seeing the final CSM. A lot of times they're seeing a preliminary one. As long as that's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So, okay.
I have a question on 1515.
What day?
I don't know, 52 out of 61.
52 or 61, okay.
I just, 1515.
Okay.
I know, it's crazy.
I know, there's a lot of,
Ah,
we are on 1515 2D. Now, is this, I know when we're talking about the Kennedy Hills subdivision, how folks were moving in before everything was done from the developer and stuff like that. Is this the written correction? I mean, is this actually in writing what we had said we wanted to do, that under no circumstances was anybody going to get a building permit until everything is done?
That's not what this says.
no, that's all right.
This is basically our same ordinance with a few small changes, but no, that's not what this says. It begins by saying, let's see, no building permit shall be issued for construction on any site created in violation of the requirements of the code. Well, first of all, at the very first, number 1 says shall not be issued for construction on a parcel until all the required improvements have been installed and inspected and accepted. But then it goes on to say that if you want to, you can have a contract with the developer where they agree to some things and then you'll issue building permits. Kind of what it goes on to say.
Then what does 2D mean then?
So D means that,
You're talking about an actual house type occupancy versus a,
this is saying that the, yeah, that's occupancy, so that's after it's built. The builder shall agree in writing that occupancy of any and all buildings shall not occur, nor shall any occupancy permits be issued prior to the completion, inspection, and exception of requirements. So,
improvement, what are you talking about improvements?
The road, the
Streets.
ditches, drainage.
So the ponds
So
need to be completely
isn't-
done too.
Doesn't that still fall back on the developer as far as getting the ditches done, part of the roadway and everything else like that? So we're basically saying the same thing twice?
well,
Because,
We'll give you the building permit, but we aren't going to give you occupancy until everything is done. All the required improvements are done.
For the whole subdivision.
so if you just read 1, you would think, or I would think that you can't even have a building permit until the improvements are accepted. But then if you read 2, it says the following shall apply in all instances where building permits are issued prior to acceptance of the subdivision.
okay, why is that there then?
Yeah, that.
That doesn't make, yeah, that,
I would like to see it struck. I mean, with all the difficulties, at least in my opinion, that we had with Kennedy Hills, with the developer failing to primarily comply with all of the things necessary for the plat,
Mhm.
and we had to go, or we, meaning the town, had to go chase him in order to get stuff done and threaten action and so on and so forth. Why would we even have this in there? Why would we create another potential for what we just experienced up in Kennedy Hills?
Right, this is what our current ordinance does. The only thing that's new in here is that the addition of
Right.
approved by the town attorney. But it basically says that there's if they do issue building permits, there needs to be a contract. The lots have to already be designated and the subdivider agrees to indemnify and save the town harmless from all claims, actions, etc. And
we're
that's,
saying we don't do that, right?
I don't think we did that with Kennedy Hills, but this isn't new. This is the existing ordinance.
I guess, and maybe somebody educate me. Why would we want to allow development in a plat that's not complete? I mean, I see the village doing it over in
Yeah.
Shady Hills.
Yeah, that's true.
But, with the issues that, well, you were, how many hours, I know you don't know exactly, but you had a lot of hours chasing and having to do work that the developer should have done himself, or helping him do whatever it was that he needed. And that's not why we're here, I mean,
You lose the feet to the fire, that's for sure.
yeah, I just, if we got something to hold over their head,
I think we use it.
yeah, I don't know. I may be in a minority here, but then again,
I don't know, you say we can't do it, and then we say, well, you might be able to do it.
yeah, after further review,
I mean,
Um,
so technically they're not, and remember, we did have that problem with Kennedy Hills. They wanted occupancy and we didn't have substantial completion. That's what the last part of this is all about.
Mhm.
But I mean, you won't have that problem if you don't even let them build to start with.
correct. I mean, if we don't, right, if they don't let them sell lots and so on,
They can sell
Well, selling
lots.
lots, but
They're
you know,
gonna
they
sell
don't-
Well,
lots.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to sell a lot, yeah, I see that.
But then that's sort of laying it on the person that's buying the lot to push
Yeah.
the person that's
Developer
building the whole
said-
thing to get it done, which is a good thing, really, in a way.
Sure.
It is, except that you end up with kind of victims in it who didn't realize that was the problem. You know, they buy a lot and they didn't do their
No, but
homework.
that's
Due diligence.
buyer's remorse.
You know, I mean, and having the builders come to us, you know, crying because of the fact they can't, you know, get their people in, you know, that they built the house for and sold the lots and so on and so forth. Again, you know,
Right.
it just kind of avalanched a bit. I don't know, I guess I'd make a formal recommendation that we get rid of 2.
All of 2,
Just this two
just the small 2.
and two.
Well, everything on from 2A to D. That all has to do with
Yeah,
Yeah.
where permits are issued prior to acceptance of the subdivision improvements.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. All of 2.
So then in A, you're gonna get rid of the except as provided in 2, right? And just start out by saying building permits shall not be issued.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else?
That was good. That was good. You got this.
I found some a little wordsmithing.
Which page?
That's right, yesterday, I thought I got double check. Was folding feet. Okay, 28 of 61. Item D.
I'm sorry.
Item
D.
D, final plat review, third line down. The final plat together with A completed, comma, A completed petition. So A completed is in there 2 times, so you don't need it more than once.
Which one is it?
Third line down. Final plat with a completed petition just once.
Oh, just once. Okay.
Then. Okay, on page 37 of 61. Under 2, street names and building numbers, item F. Number 2, lane, a street 1 block long, not ending in a cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
Ours is well, it's essentially a block long and has a roundabout cul-de-sac at the end.
Well, this is going forward, not going backwards.
Okay, thank you. Because there's sickness.
So in other words, would a lane then would be like the letter H would be the little street horizontal between 2 long streets then?
Yeah, kind of like Nightingale,
Then
Nightingale Lane.
I wanted a clarification on page 39 of 16. Neighborhood connector streets. 70 feet, is that? So that we could have some walking along there. Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
double check. Thank you.
So I mean, that goes back to the main reason that this was even looked at,
Right,
is
yeah,
those
right.
diagrams that are at the end, and you want to make sure you look at those too.
I was. Okay, we're gonna have a bird too. Okay, page 49 of 61. Item 4. Item B under 4. Fifth line down, may be required by the town engineer to assure uniformity along the entire length of any street.
how long? Yeah, and it should be maybe with a space in the middle too, right?
Yes, yes.
You went over this thing with a fine tooth comb, let me tell you.
We got her here.
I read those things too.
Well, I'll tell you, I took a nap.
Now you're getting clumsy.
I'm just- You're right. I think that's pretty well it, but thank you for clarifying the 3 weeks, because that was the first thing that I thought. Okay, done.
Mike, do you have any?
No. I did not look at it that close.
Page 5. Do we really want at, third line down, as provided under general county zoning ordinance, prior to submitting either such petition, respective petitioner must first consult with the planning commission and the town board
Yes, wait, where are you? Page 5.
Tom,
at the very top. Third line down.
County, prior to submitting either such petition. Town board. Town board shall take action on.
So what are you thinking,
petition
for
to zone
example?
board.
Well, so before I come in with my petition to rezone, I have to go to the planning commission and then the town board, then I can put in my petition.
Make sure they're not wasting our time.
I thought it was just that they had to come in and talk with Kim to get more background. That was what I recommended to somebody that asked me, to talk to Kim,
Yeah,
because
Shall take action on petition to rezone. General county zoning ordinance prior to submitting either such petition. I think all that means is that the town, the county, because it says per the general county zoning ordinance, I think what that means is that the town board or the planning commission and the town board have to make a recommendation on it. I think that's all that means. Because it's saying here, it's under town recommendations to the
Right.
county. It says the town's required to take action on them. It's not really prior to submitting, though.
okay.
Yeah, it's prior to submitting either such petition. It's, then you do it, but then you sort of don't do it.
yeah,
Because we want them to apply at the county first.
Right.
So should it just say, as provided under the general county zoning ordinance, the respective petitioner must first consult with the town plan commission and town board and take out the prior to submitting?
Yeah.
I can check with Mark and see why he put it in there that way, but
Right.
good question.
I'll cross that off for now and ask Mark if there's a reason why.
Okay. And then on page 16, number 11. So we want digital format.
Yeah.
Do you not want any paper?
So this is under contract for security of improvements.
Yeah, because we don't have big format printer for some of those docs.
We don't, no.
No. And see, we don't have electronic devices
Not
here
everyone, yeah.
in our meetings.
Yeah, if you catch it.
It would be nice to have both, because that way you could,
Well, at least maybe one or two hard copies. You could always bring it up on the screen,
Well, this is following the completion and acceptance of all public improvements. So that's later, right? That's not what you're improving. It's what the engineer's records have as far as what's been done.
It's for final plat or certified survey map.
So this is just them agreeing. This is part of the contract. Subdivider agrees to 1 through 17, and 11 is required subdivider to submit record drawings in a digital format specified by the town engineer following the completion and acceptance. So this isn't what they're bringing in for,
No, it's what's all finished and done with.
yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't we want at least one hard copy for in the file when the drawer? Yeah,
If you want,
Make two, one for a spare, just in case.
well,
Great.
I mean, if they gotta print one up, why not print two up if they're odd
Right.
sized and everything? We've got the money.
so, and 2 large format?
yeah.
Well, no, I just,
for- You want 2 paper hard copies.
yeah, the reason why I said large format is some of those documents are large format type printed. And I, you know,
Okay, so how do you want to word it then?
To submit record drawings in a digital format and
And
2
2 hard
hard
copies.
copies.
you could always tell them large format, Kim,
Yeah,
keep that, don't forget it.
Well, that's good. The digital is for the engineer and 2 hard copies for the town's files.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, at some point, it's probably easier to find that paper copy than for you to search through.
Not for me, no.
Well, for me, it would
for any
be.
of us, maybe.
I know where they are in the drawer.
Okay.
The drawer.
The drawer. Otherwise, there were a lot of good changes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
On page 37,
Mhm.
H. The town or other agency with jurisdiction may require existing arterial collector and neighborhood connector streets that are adjacent to the plat or certified survey map to be approved in a manner that will serve and be proportionate to the traffic safety associated with the plat or certified survey map. Who would the other agency be
County?
on a town road?
Village,
On a town road?
we share some.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but this is all talking new construction.
What if it was built next to existing construction in a county road or to a village street, I suppose?
I just couldn't think of who that other agency would be that would approve a town road.
City of Madison.
It'd have to be another municipality, obviously.
That's what I thought, but
Isn't it, I mean, they could require our developer to improve their road? Is that what this is saying? We're the jurisdiction.
I'm guessing that's right. Adjacent to the certified, be improved. That's one of the questions that has come up. you know, next
I guess
to
I
what
would
they joined.
ask Mark who he was foreseeing that could be. I guess I couldn't think of who it would be.
Oh, yeah, one time, so if we have one side of the road and they have the other side of the road.
I mean, think about it in reverse. When the village has been building up to one of your roads, you've talked about requiring the village to improve your road so that it matches up. And they've never been interested, obviously, but that's the reverse of that, I think.
Okay.
If they-
I'll ask Mark.
And in October, did we go over the fee schedule and update town fee schedule?
We didn't change much, but we did go over it at the
Okay.
budget meeting, yes. I don't remember what we did change. Off the top of my head.
Anybody have anything else? Is there a motion?
We're gonna approve it now, or we gotta?
No, we gotta close the public
Close.
hearing.
Close the public, I'd move, we close the public.
Second.
Motion by Andrews, second by Williams to close the public hearing. Town Board of Cottage Grove will hold a public meeting immediately. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting immediately following the public hearing. The meeting was posted at the town hall and on the website. A quorum is present. Call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the flag pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the minutes of the February 7th meeting.
I'll move approval of the minutes with one very small change. Page 2, item F, the second to the last line, with suggested dates of May 9-16 and with May 2-9.
It was better, wouldn't it?
It would have second choice. Thank you.
And that was a motion?
Yes.
Second. Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the minutes with the one correction to F. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I'll move approval and keep them closed.
Both of them?
Both.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay on minutes, closed session minutes for January 17th and February 7th to approve and to keep them closed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills. Second line down, checks to be approved, 35,297 through, it should be 35,322.
I move approval of checks 35, 237.
No. Go up another line.
Oh, 35,229
Nope.
Yeah,
through 35,236. And the overpayments of 35,237 to 35,296. And approval of then checks 35,297 to 35,332, 322.
motion by Duplain. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anders. And I'm going to make it short. Your approved checks 35,229 through 35,322
Correct,
for the various settlements and
Correct.
overpayments.
correct.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You have your unaudited cash and investment balance of $3,502,719.04. And you have the January building permits.
We'll move approval of the building permits as presented.
Second,
Motion by Anders, second by Duplain to approve the January building permits as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And then you have the court monthly financials past due balances.
Dan, what's, with Charter on their commercial electric, what are they doing on AB? They're need a commercial permit for. That's kind of something I hadn't seen before.
For Charter, they're running all that fiber.
So they need a commercial electric building permit to do that?
Yeah, if they're putting any kind of structure in, I'm sure they do.
Okay.
Next item is public concerns, public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Anyone online?
Hello,
No one
Hello?
present?
Looks like Robert Williamson might be.
hello.
Hi,
Yes, this is Robert Williamson. I just was wondering if you have any updates on the talks between the town and the city of Madison on the annexation?
not at this time.
So it's just on hold? There's nothing moving forward, backward, anything?
Maybe later in the meeting we'll have something.
There's a closed session at the end on that topic.
Okay, so that's nothing we'll be able to hear.
Right.
Okay. So if there is something coming forward later that will be of the public concern, will it be posted or notified?
Yeah. It would be an agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Any road right-of-way permits?
We've got one for Wood Ridge Trail, 2219, new gas service install. Kennedy Hills.
Good.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the right-of-way permit from Wisconsin Power and Light for the gas install on Wooded Ridge Trail.
second,
Motion by Anders, second by Duplain to approve the road right-of-way permit for Wisconsin Power and Light on Wooded Ridge Trail. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And Christina is here for a review of the January police activity.
Well, first off, I'll throw out there, the stats for traffic are not accurate. We spoke to, well, an email was sent to Mike to kind of get an idea on what's happening with the syncing of the stats. But we have not heard back from him yet, so I don't have an answer as to why. But I can tell you they're not accurate this month. The check area property is obviously super high right now.
Yeah,
That's more or less vacation checks. Sometimes if there's something weird going on or people call in check properties, that also does fit under that. But this spike is more vacation checks. And sometimes the assist citizens going up like that also kind of contribute to that. If I find an open garage door at night, that's gonna be under an assist citizen. And I have noticed a little bit more of that, I'd say in the last month or so. People just need to be aware of locking up their homes, closing the garages at night. We all forget sometimes it happens.
yeah.
And then I know the other thing on first shift, Jen has mentioned she's had more issues with fraud as of recently. Her most recent one I spoke with her about was related to people claiming to have money for Publishers Clearinghouse, and that's kind of what it came down to. So that seems to be a little bit higher in the last month or two as well, compared to what we usually see. Actually, we'll see. Let's see if she texts me with any extra detail, but she hasn't. Oh, see the. You guys have any questions, anything like that for me?
Have you heard anything as to when Josh will be starting?
Yeah, Jake will be starting on the 27th of March was the date that I was given.
3/27.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's what we got for that. Any other questions?
We sent the information over on the car replacement. We did go with black with the gold.
Perfect. Awesome.
Turbo.
Not hybrid.
Rand, how long, I know we kind of talked time frame. How long does that look before they would actually have that ready to go?
It sounded like we wouldn't see it until next year.
Oh, well, that's sooner than I thought, so can't complain about that. Okay.
I mean, that was their best guess at the time
Okay.
that they gave us the quote.
All right.
That would be next year.
Some miles on the one we got left and wait until they bring her over.
Keep it running.
Hey, she's pretty good. It's a nice
With
car.
our
So,
fingers.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know in the past, when we've had a vacancy, that we've authorized some amount of OT to help fill the void, are we gonna do that at all or to some extent? Between now and the end of next month?
At this point, I have not approved any.
Okay.
I think we just have to survive.
Yeah, I haven't seen or heard from the officers that there was a need yet. I mean, if it goes much beyond March 27th, if the weather gets nicer earlier, we may need to do something with nice weather out, but I don't think at this point we need to.
Okay.
I
Knock on wood.
think we pray
mean-
for bad weather.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
I'm stuck on slide offs all night.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys have a lovely evening.
Next item, discuss, consider approval of certified survey map and joint driveway agreement for 3 lots created on Norr Road under rezone petition 11-710, tabled from February 7th. And I assume everyone is happy with the change. Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Fonger, second by Duplay to approve the certified survey map and the joint driveway agreement as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss, consider approval of the pilot agreement between the town and Sunvest LLC tabled from February 7th meeting. And Bill French is on the phone or online with us. Are you there, Bill?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Did you want me to, yeah, so this was actually drafted by the town attorney. And we just had to clean up a few things, which is why we asked to table it. And hopefully it meets with your approval. I think it is accomplishing what it is we were trying to do, which is to have actually, this isn't, Kim, this is not the, this is not the right one, the one you're putting up.
You didn't send me one since the last meeting, did you?
I did, yes.
No, I did not get that. Okay, let me, hold on just a second. Let me find it.
I'm so sorry.
When did you send it? Do you remember?
Oh, goodness, I'd have to look. No, it was,
Just a minute.
Sometime after the February 7th.
it was after that, yeah. And actually, I think what I did is I sent it back to the town attorney for her. So I guess I made the assumption that she had sent it to you.
So Kim, this isn't the right one then?
No, that's what he's saying. Hold on.
This isn't.
So one sent here, one sent here then. But let's Bill.
Here's Bill, but yeah, just a minute. Let me.
Oh, there's.
The devil.
Yeah. Well, maybe we need to table this one more time to make sure you guys have the right one.
Let me see what I can find here. If I'm missing something.
So he assumes Bill Cole sent it to us?
No, Amy would have.
Yeah.
She works in Bill's office.
Oh.
Yes, it would have come from Amy.
She's the one that we met with and drafted the original.
Oh.
Okay, so there is an email from Amy on February 10th. She said she had a meeting with Bill French and attorney Ben Cass. They
Cass.
discussed the termination provision, which was the last piece we needed to figure out. I shared that from the town's perspective. But anyway, she's saying attorney Cass is going to make the red line changes and send them over tomorrow or Monday with the hopes that we can get this on the calendar for the 21st. I haven't gotten anything from Amy since then.
Okay. Yeah, I sent her the agreement on February 18th stating that we were now in agreement, I thought. So.
Well, I didn't know there was something more coming here. So I guess you have to table it again because I don't have anything new from Amy unless Bill French or unless Bill Cole online knows anything I don't.
Yeah, I'm here. No, sorry, I don't know anything about it.
Yes, if you don't mind, let's table. We have time.
Okay.
I'd rather you guys had a good chance to take a look at it. Make sure.
To table.
Second. Motion by Williams, second by DePlay to table to our next meeting and for Kim to email Amy to get the current version. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of terms of cash farm lease for 5 acres south of the former Net Big landfill. We got a 5% increase in the yearly rent and extended it again for a period of 3 years. 22, 23, and 24 for that 5 acres.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Williams to approve the farm lease as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of pylon sign location and design for secure storage at 3286 Fieldview Lane. Anthony is here. Hmm? Oh, where'd you get Anthony?
I don't know.
Jeez, Art's here. Okay. So you want two signs, a monument out by the road.
Yeah, so the monument sign and the building sign, I think we had part of the initial submission. And we're just looking to add the pylon.
So is it the pylon sign 10 feet tall?
The pylon sign overall height is 40 feet.
40 feet?
The pylon, yes.
Secure storage sign is 10 feet. Is that right?
On top of the pylon?
Yes.
Yeah, 10 by 20.
And the temperature controlled is 5 feet wide.
5 feet tall by, and that dimension is not on here. It'd be less than the 20 feet.
Are these, I'm struggling, are these going to be lit signs?
Yes, there'll be lit signs, backlit.
Some sense for how much this is going to be a glare for the houses. There's a house here on Fieldview and others further down the street, but there would be a house that this would be right within direct.
This would be the only house.
Okay, but that will be directly across.
Oh, she said it's not a pylon.
That's a
It's low.
monument sign.
Okay,
That's the monument sign.
that's this one.
Yes. 86 by 96 inches.
And it's no more
No,
than 80
that's
watts.
how high it is. The sign
Yeah.
itself is only a 4 by 8.
4 by 8.
And that will be lit also?
Yes.
They're only 80 watts.
I'm trying to visualize that. I'm not very good.
Like a little bit more than a 75 watt bulb.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a small solar setup for that
Okay, thank you.
location.
Okay,
It definitely will not be a welcome to Vegas sign.
No,
thank you.
And the pylon sign is both sides?
yes, both sides.
When did this sign come up, this pylon sign? Was that something that you were always gonna do?
No,
No,
that wasn't part of the initial submission.
that's why you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Is like the pylon sign gonna be like flat or
It'll be flat once two
it's not
sides.
gonna
but
spin or anything or
No,
anything?
no, we won't do spin or do any tricks or anything like that. It'll be facing 12 and 18.
Okay.
And that's, you guys decided you can't see the signs on the building? Is that what
Yeah, that's the main reason behind it, is we have limited visibility with where
we're
we're
looking
located.
from the roads? You can't basically see.
Correct, yeah, when you're coming from Madison, you don't see the property until you're on the exit ramp already.
Any other questions?
I move approval of the timeline sign. That's the only one we're approving, right?
Correct, yes.
Yep. Motion by Duffy, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Founder to approve the pylon sign as presented. Any discussion on the motion?
That is really a big sign.
It's a long way off.
When you're looking from the road, it's not a big sign.
No, that was that big. I mean, not in the matter of billboards and other things like that.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Oh, abstentions. One abstention. Thank you, Art.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Next item, discuss and consider quote from TDS Telecom for internet services at Flynn Hall, including cost sharing offer from the Kites Grove Lions Club. And see the cost.
Has there been a lot of demand for this?
You know, about demand, it's asked frequently. And I think, I mean, the Lions Club, I'm sure would, you know, make use of it, and probably some of the other civic groups that are there. Often when people rent, they ask if it's there. So,
And if anything ever happened here, we can always move down there and have service.
yeah,
And I guess it was $15 for the basically installation.
yeah, just to ship
And
them.
then it would be a monthly charge of $79. And the Lions were willing to pay $30 a month for it.
It will go up by $30 after 24 months. There's a $30 credit for 2 years. So the price is actually $109 a month, but for the first 2 years, it'll be $79.
Yeah.
I thought contracts were kind of passe in this day and age, you know, as far as holding your feet to the fire, but apparently not.
Well, what's the contract for 2 years or what?
3.
It is for 3?
Yep.
Yeah,
So this third year, we pay more.
109
Yeah.
versus
Plus all the
79.
taxes.
Yeah, I mean, taxes will be
Substantial.
on top of that.
What would be?
Taxes, although thinking about
We
our
pay
current,
taxes?
well, we don't get out of all of them. But, honestly, currently, the town hall has this same deal, and actually, we just timed out on the $30 a month, so we're up to 109, and they've only been charging us 79, so maybe we do get out of all the taxes. I know the phone companies, there's still some we have to pay, but, so, yeah, I think it would be just 79.
What was Charter offering?
I didn't even look at them.
Okay. No, I,
Um,
So Lions will pay half.
they'll pay $30 a month.
Oh, $30 a month. Okay.
So-
Yeah, is what they came back with. I gave them what our costs were, and they offered to pay $30 a month.
Okay. I'd make a motion to approve.
second,
Would you add to your motion that you would allow the town to just draw up simple agreements between the town and the Lions, that Lions agree to pay the $30 and they'll give us a year notice
I'll
if
add
they
to
want
my
out?
motion, I will add on that the Lions will pay $30 per month during the length of the contract.
And what did you say about the notice?
Well, we'll write up a simple agreement between the town and
Making a simple
Lions that
agreement
they're
between the
gonna
town and
pay
Lions.
$30 a month, and they'll give us a year's notice if they're going to opt out.
Yeah, put that in there.
That's fine.
Would that be paid out of the account that's not shared with the village and the Lions Club? Because we do a third.
Right,
Quarterly.
this would not include the village at all.
Oh, the village shouldn't want to pay. They don't have any money.
Right. And so, and you bill the Lions, what, quarterly?
I do, yeah. So it
And
just,
just add that on their quarterly bill.
Okay.
The motion was by Fauger, second by Duplay, to approve and to draft a simple agreement between the town and the Lions Club. Any other discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of Deer Grove EMS Resolution 2022-0217 Ambulance Capital Purchase Fund Transfer. Motion by Williams, second by Duplay, to approve the resolution as presented. It's simply take care of the money that we had in last year's budget that didn't get spent because they didn't get the ambulance done. Any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. H, discuss and consider adoption of ordinance 2022-2-21A, amending chapter 15 Land and Planning Code. Do you want to approve it with the changes that were made, or do you want to wait and see it again?
For clarification from Mark on a couple things.
Yeah, I think it might be better to wait and
Table it
table it.
till next
Next
meeting.
Yeah.
Motion by Duplay, second by Williams, to table till the next meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I, discuss and consider adoption of ordinance 2022-2-21B, rescinding the Board of Absentee Canvassers and the centralized canvassing of absentee ballots.
So this will actually, you could take the B off because there won't be two resolutions
There
tonight.
will be an A.
Ordinances, I mean.
Yeah.
So this is what I mentioned last time. This will put the,
Both machines in the same building.
put absentee processing back in the same building as the polling place, but we will be able to keep a separate machine, so we won't clog up the line that the voters are coming through to put their ballots in.
Right.
Yes.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay, to approve ordinance 2022-2-21. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider adoption of resolution 2022-2-21A.
No, this is a resolution, not an ordinance.
Oh, that's right. Temporarily relocating the polling location of all wards for the August 9th, 2022 partisan primary and the November 8th, 2022 general election.
I wanted to get this figured out now so I can put it in the annual report. But we don't know yet if we're going to have 2 reporting units or not, but if we do, we for sure want a bigger space. And so I think we should just plan for that.
Using the garage, like we did last time.
We'll be okay for April and here. I don't expect a huge turnout and it's just 1 reporting unit, but for those other 2, I think we should plan for that.
Yeah.
I move approval.
Motion by Williams,
Second.
second by Duplay, to approve resolution 2022-2-21 as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item K, discuss and consider approval of deputy clerk position description and advertisement.
Again, I wanted to do this now because I think we should put this in the annual report. for the advertisement part, at least.
Mhm.
You made my changes?
Oh, yeah, they were just typos mainly, right?
I think it's well written. I think it's excellent.
Yeah, I really do. I move approval of the PD for
Second.
the deputy clerk.
And the ad,
Position and advertisement.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Williams to approve the deputy clerk position description and the advertisement. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item L, discuss future financial infrastructure needs of the township. Last meeting, we paid for our portion of the engine,
We paid for all of it. I'm waiting for the village to pay.
pay us back.
Yeah.
What was our portion of that? You're-
It must have been 200 and something.
And we got the tanker. We expect that bill by the end of the second quarter, and that was for something. In order to do a bond, and talking to Ellers, we have to be over $1 million to do a bond. So I did ask the chief, because they're looking at replacing the squad next year.
Okay.
If he could give us an idea as to what that price is. And I have no idea yet as to how much that might be, but do we want to maybe wait and roll all of that into one and do a bond, or do we want to try and just
I think we
borrow
just-
for each
I
one
think we
from
just do it one time.
the bank? Yeah, I don't know if there are any other projects that we would need money for, but
Road,
new road, keep that in mind. And the other thing I wanted to mention to you is, we have North Star Road. I'm wondering if we should start looking at maybe having the engineer doing the engineering work on getting Natvig Road across N and getting that approved by the county. And we could do, just stub it in across the road. Don't go very far because we don't know which direction it needs to go, but get the county's approval to build that intersection. And maybe then plan for that for construction in 23.
I like it also.
And I have no idea what just the engineering is going to cost, but it's something we could certainly having start working on and getting us some figures so that as we continue through the year, maybe that would play into what we want to bond for.
Well, to make sure we can do it, that they aren't limiting access on county end.
Well, the last time I had talked to Pam Dunphy, she said we would be able to do it. So I would like to get
Get it in the pipeline.
it
while
in
it gets good.
and get it built and, stub it in, I don't know, 50 feet or maybe 75 feet into the property and stop. And then we can decide how it goes depending on how development would want to play out, but at least we have it across in. I think
Who owns that now?
Houston.
Houston's own it? How do they, the end of this or what?
They know that Natvig is going to cross. How it's going to run from once it gets across, I can't say. They would like it to move further to the north to straddle the property line. I don't know if that's the best way to go or not. It would depend on how big a lot they sold for what building went there.
Are you going to be able to eventually find that out?
I think that's fairly important, don't you? I would think.
Well, if we just stubbed it in, say 75 feet,
Well, it's on their property still, right?
right, we would probably have to buy property because we'll probably have to put in turn lanes and acceleration lanes in that 75 feet from the county's right of way.
60 feet.
But after that point, I don't know what direction the road would really have to take depending on who sold what and how big it was.
Chris, is the county right away 120?
I believe so.
So you could go 60 feet without having to acquire any land
From the center.
from the center.
From the
Well, yeah,
center.
but we want to make sure in the future that that's going to be fine with the people that own the land right now, they're going to buy from. He's going to develop some of that property, right?
I'm sure they
Well, so, I mean,
probably
there's more
will
to
at
it.
some point.
Especially now, once you put a road in, it's gonna make it
Yeah.
easier for
Right.
them.
I mean, it could end up with
Maybe
us
we
paying
could,
money that it would be good for them, you know.
Good point.
They've always worked well with us
Yeah.
and everything.
They have.
Yeah. But I don't know if it should just run straight, move a little to the north, move to the south. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have the engineer look at it now.
I would assume what the county's going to say is that the driveway for the house would have to go away and we would have to, from that stub, have a gravel driveway following the current grass driveway that Larry always used up to the house.
oh, sure.
I think it's a good idea. I would support your suggestion.
So we'll talk to Nick and have him start looking at that and give us an idea as to what his cost would be to do that work.
Yeah.
And then that can be approved by or not by the town, if we want to include that in our financing that we'll have to do sometime this year.
And will you also talk with the Houstons so they're,
I can talk to Brad and Wade.
thank you. I think that would be helpful.
I don't think
for
we
all
want
of
any
us.
surprises.
Right. Because they might have some specific ideas
Well, yeah.
also that they would like to work with us on.
Yeah.
And so it could be a win-win.
Right.
And it could be if they already designed something that we're screwing up with their design.
Well, that's why I only want to go in,
Yeah.
not very
I
far,
understand that.
not knowing
Yeah.
what
That's fine.
they're going to
Yeah.
sell. Because I think directly east of where Natvig comes in is that old pit that they used for gravel for the original 12 and 18. So I'd like them to fill that in at some point, but anyway. And, you know, as we talk about that North Star Road Business Park, I sent you all that information on kids that I gotten from Ellers. I didn't see anywhere that we could use that money for what's going to happen out in that area. Because we don't have sewer and water, so we're limited to only 3 or 4 things, and none of them were anything that we were thinking of having hotels or entertainment like that going on there. So I think as we talked before, what are we going to do about fire protection for that development when it occurs? You know, do we want to have water available in some fashion? And I would assume that would be something we would ask engineers, what do we do? what would be appropriate. And I don't know if anybody wants to do sewer, but there, you know, Masson is asking for urban service area. And they'll be running a line out along 12 and 18 to the middle of that hill where the house is that,
Where the old electrical shop was?
no, the house that's up on top of the hill.
Along 12 and 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Hanson owns.
That was Rotherham Meat area, that area?
It's up in here.
South of 12 and 18, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, across from Copar.
access is
Okay,
here.
okay, I know,
And-
okay, I know what you're talking about now.
So I'm assuming they're going to extend the sewer line all the way out here.
I know which house it is.
But, I mean, it's still a long way if we wanted to run it there, but I don't know that sewer is that important for any of these businesses that we would be expecting to get out there. And I guess I wouldn't be saying that we would even need that water to be drinkable. Just have it available for firefighting. But, I mean, that's a decision the board can make at some other point, but I think fire protection is probably going to be our biggest request. And we already have, Nick was looking at applying for grants for Milas Hope Road and for Uphoff Road with that build money
Yeah, the BIL fund, yeah.
that's coming available. So
He's putting together cost estimates right now.
we're going to apply for money for that. There's that culvert on Vilas Road that we would like, he's going to look at to see if we could replace that and widen that
Widen it, yeah.
so it's not so narrow in
Right,
there.
make
But
view.
I don't know if there's anything else that you guys think we should be looking at.
Sometime we're gonna have to address Ridge Road in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty beat up.
And that would be probably a road that we would look at going to the 70 feet.
It would almost have to be, doesn't it? I mean, if we approve that corrections thing.
I would think we would want to, so that road's,
Maybe our first test.
it gets a lot of traffic and God only knows what our roads will receive once Amazon is up and running.
Which one you thinking? Violet's Hope? Which one you thinking of stretching the 70 feet?
Ridge.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it
didn't-
would be nice to do
We'd have to
Miles
do it.
Hope, but that
yeah, you didn't do a
engineering
traffic
that
count.
you'd
on that.
already done on it was for the way it is,
You down your ridge to the south?
No, to the north.
to the north. From
Okay,
maybe
traffic,
north.
It doesn't get that much traffic.
I don't think it does it?
No, it's all heavy equipment.
Yeah, but it's not cars.
No. We have to do a traffic study again, I'm sure.
Well, now, the 24th Sheriff's Office is having that traffic study that they did. I think Kim sent that to everyone.
I don't think I did. I think I
No?
forgot. I
Oh,
will.
it was in the Independent, that's where I learned about it. They did town, the village, town of Deerfield, town of Christiana, and Cambridge.
Hmm.
And on the 24th,
I read that too, that article.
they're going to present that information, so.
But it hasn't been done yet?
What are they doing?
It's
The
online right
results haven't
No,
been published.
No, I have not seen it.
They putting out counters?
They've already done some kind of a study.
Yeah.
There, did they have results to present?
Really?
Mhm.
So anyway, things to think about. In the next couple months, we'll have to decide what we're going to do for payment on fire department vehicles. And we did receive notice today that Pierce has started the construction of the engine and that it was going to be done April. So that one will be here. And so that's all I had on that. So moving on to Public Works Department activity and update.
Yeah, first off, all got fixed. Good news, anything happened?
Great
Oh,
job.
Yeah, it looks good.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't notice it.
Yeah. Yeah, like Chris said, I'd written down that Nick's looking into getting us that BIL money. Hopefully that works out. And then we got some update on, I asked for some update on Kennedy Hills. It sounds like Jason Tuggle has all the information in front of him now. It's just waiting him to review it and sign it, and then possibly that dedication will happen soon. So
Get that to us.
yeah, that'd be good to get that finished up. Also, got a friendly little guest stopped in today. Jeff and Diane stopped in
Oh,
and said hi. So that was nice seeing them. Hadn't seen them in a little over a year, probably, since the last time they stopped. But yeah, it's nice catching up with them, and they look good and healthy. Just had gotten back from Florida not too long ago. Yeah, what else I have?
your new mower that we ordered this in January, you won't see that until,
250 days from the day we ordered it, so it'll be closer to August.
yeah.
And then I kind of talked to, and I know we're a few years away from replacing another truck yet, but the advice I've been given from International and another dealership we talked to, just kind of talked with them, is order a year ahead of when you want it. Like, you have to do your half down to get it ordered. And
Right.
then it'll be built, the chassis will be built, and then it can come. And then the next year you get your build done, basically. So
What, do we have 3 years before we,
25, yeah. 25 is when we'll put, get a new one, that budget year,
let's hope the supply chain gets better and
hopefully.
wait a year.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping like the 1 ton, 2012, we're probably gonna have to look at that the next couple of years too, but hopefully it'll go another year.
Yeah.
That should be fine. But yeah, it was just something else. And then we replaced the one furnace last year in the shop that to the north, the ceiling unit. And I was wondering if we shouldn't do that one to the south. Is that, we've noticed the one to the north that we replaced, it starts late, they're on the same thermostat, and the one to the south will start like 2 minutes before the other one starts. And it'll run 5 minutes longer.
Get a price.
So I'm like, that's kind of, you can tell the inefficiency of the old furnace already. Just that little bit of runtime.
Get us a couple prices.
All right, I will. And other than that, that's all I had today.
Clerk's office.
Let's see, Coverall responded to the letter that we sent saying that they couldn't find anyone else willing to work in Cottage Grove. So I responded by saying, then we want out of the agreement. And so he responded that he was accepting that as 30-day notice. So they did clean this weekend yet, but we're officially looking for janitors. I've reached out to a couple that I know of, one that works at the village buildings and one that cleans Houston's buildings. I haven't gotten any responses yet. That's as far as I've gone with it. So if anybody knows anybody, or I guess the other alternative would be to look at private, not just these cleaning companies, but we'll be having to try to find somebody.
You always did a good job cleaning.
Oh,
Otherwise, I think we already talked about most of what's been on my mind tonight.
speaking of that, when the last week Thursday, or no, last week Friday, I talked with Jen Grafton. And she brought up about the job that was done down at the police station. And she said that the items, the furniture was not moved when they did it.
That's right. We didn't pay for that.
Okay, I didn't know if you guys were aware or not, because
Yep.
there was big rust spots where they moved furniture and you could see where it just wasn't done.
What were they moving furniture for?
I don't have a clue. Okay,
No,
as long as you're aware of it, that was my only purpose in bringing it up. So,
our quote did not include price for them to move furniture.
okay,
I guess the other thing I have is I did print off a copy of PAA's follow-up. I emailed that to everybody, but if you want a hard copy, you can pass those around.
Okay. That for
Whatever, the fire.
fire did on the fire station.
Uh-huh.
Moving on to board reports and communications, I did get a survey from Madison Regional Workplace Diversity and Inclusion Survey. Do we want to fill it out?
Yes, if you would.
I think you might want to ask her over there first.
Yeah, right.
All right, that's all that I had. Committee reports, emergency government. Bill's working on the change the ordinance, right?
Yes.
And I did mention to Kim, not until today, about she should be looking for a new computer for you
Yes.
over there,
Yeah.
right?
Did Eric talk to you about that?
No, first I heard was from Chris tonight.
I kept forgetting to say something.
Oh, I thought Eric was gonna do that.
I'll have to talk to you about that later.
Okay. Anything else on emergency government? Deer Grove EMS Commission?
That was yours. Well, I don't think we mentioned that the Houstons gave Deer Grove EMS a $25,000 donation
You're kidding.
at
Wow.
the end of 2021. Very nice. Very nice.
That went to the association.
Right, right. Trying to remember. We had Mandy's evaluation.
We're still going to be virtual.
Yes. I think Eric is on. Eric is on.
There he is.
Yes, there he is.
Smile.
Hello.
Howdy.
The salary for the casual employees,
Otherwise LTEs.
right, otherwise known as LTEs.
Yeah.
It's just, I know, I just, that's weird.
That's one of the PAA recommendations. You
yeah.
know, it's hard to
Casual.
adjust.
So. Eric, are you still working on radios?
We are working through the process of the AFG, so that's kind of a waiting game, but
Won't be until September.
yeah, and seeing where everyone else is, keeping in contact with all the other communities to make sure that they're, if AFG doesn't come through, on board with keeping it as a capital purchase for 23 or potentially using ARPA or other funds this year.
Okay. Did we forget anything else? Other than you hit a deer?
We did, yeah. Our chassis was produced mostly as a question for the ambulance. We're waiting for the important parts to allow it to ship to Canada, which would be chips. So those, as soon as we get chips into the ambulance, it'll ship up to Canada.
Need a train?
or however they go about it these days.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Did you have anything for us?
I was just interested to hear what was going on with the changes in the plan.
Oh,
And I had a question. What kind of road is Baxter Road called? It's not on the list of all the different kinds of roads that you have there.
I thought that was like, isn't that like a major?
Arterial.
Yeah.
Is it a neighborhood connector street? Or is it a local street? That was page 13 and 14 of 65.
well, mostly what we're dealing with here would apply to new roads that are built.
Okay. It just mentions all the names of other streets that are already in that category.
Right.
Wouldn't it be considered a principal arterial?
I think
I
so.
don't think so.
Baxter Road?
Sure.
But then it's the same as 94 and 1218
No.
and so it's not.
Well,
It'd
and
be like Violet's Hope and that kind of deal.
Minor arterials are like N
And
and BB, west of N.
yeah, I guess you're right. He's got
And then-
materials that are more.
Collector Street, I think.
It called a neighborhood connector street. I think I saw American Way in there. That's right next to Baxter Road.
Wouldn't it be a collector street? Wouldn't you think it would be like Gaston Road, Violence Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So that collects and distributes internal traffic within a large area.
Yeah.
So what's the large area?
Between basically BB and headed to Marshall.
And Pierceville, I mean, anything up
TT,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
TT, I mean, that's a main thorough through, yeah.
So that's considered a collector street. I was just wondering. You know why?
That is a good question though, because it's not listed here
It's
specifically.
not listed and we're seeing a lot more traffic on Baxter Road lately.
I'm sure.
So and there's still kids and people with dogs.
I know, but we can't just sit there and go out and say, we want 10 feet more of property.
What's that?
We just can't go out there and tell these owners that we need 10 more feet of property. Where are we supposed to get it from?
Yeah.
We're gonna give up the land for a year old?
Oh, yeah.
It's marked at 35, so, I mean,
It's
it's,
35 and they're, I don't say anything. But
You know, the point of people walking dogs on there, just seems to me, if you think it's not safe, nobody should be walking dogs out there on that road.
because it's a neighborhood.
Because it's
there's a
got
lot of-
ditches, I mean, it's not a nice spot to walk.
And when they widened it, they took away, so I can't really get off the road because then I'm down on it's
Yeah, that's
curved.
what-
you know.
We went through this.
We do
Was
it
that you that
anyway.
were here? We talked about that before?
What's that? Yeah,
Yeah, we did talk about it before.
that's why I was just wondering what category it was in.
Yeah.
Because the future is coming and who knows what it is. So,
Okay.
a lot of traffic, but thank you. Appreciate you asking. It was fun to be at a meeting again.
Get tough. Yell out.
I love the board. I want the board to be the way it is. I like the board. So I don't know how something as big as Amazon got by. Holy
They
smoke.
didn't discuss it with us.
No.
I'm
That's
sure they didn't.
No, it's not
I
very.
went to the Cottage Grove the town website, and your economic development link goes over to the village's website, which doesn't say anything about Amazon.
Even have an economic.
And they just
development.
distributed their community guide, which says nothing about Amazon.
that's the villages. I was on that the other day.
What was it? They had a code name for it or something.
Silver Eagle.
Silver Eagle.
Project Silver Eagle.
Yeah.
Well, Amazon hasn't even talked about it with anybody. This is Silver Eagle. This is the project. So Amazon is sitting back there and they're doing all the talking for everything, see?
Yeah. All right, moving on. Convening closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive bargaining reasons require a closed session. Proposed boundary agreement with the city of Madison.
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams to go into closed session. Bonger.
Aye.
Anders.
Aye.
Hampton, aye. Williams.
Aye.
Duplace. We're going into closed session.
In a second here.
So we have to get out.
Yep, we're out.
Message from McFarland, they are closed.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will log in from home. I'll take some home with
Yeah,
me.
great. I'm sure I can see that. We're not gonna get any snow and you're gonna be lounging at home.
Yeah.
That's the ice we're worried about.
Yeah.
It rained a little bit already, but it's done right now.
It's done right now, for right now?
Yeah, looks like it's not gonna pick up
I
again.
need to go get that agreement. Let's bring it here for you
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Keep going after it.
Have you driven down to look at the cul-de-sac at the end of Janelle?
Yes.
Have you seen the 3 dents in the railing?
No.
Some snowplow hitting it.
Our,
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
say
really?
anything about that.
Well, if you walk it often like I do, you see those things up there as you go.
that shouldn't be.
They're not huge dents, but you know, when you walk there often.
Are you sure it's the
Yeah.
plow?
Pardon?
Are you sure it's the plow?
Well,
Well, you never know, could be somebody hit it,
I'll ask him.
you never know.
good point. I was guessing it was, but. And the house down at the end, I mean, there's a couple of vehicles way down.
Yeah.
And, thank you.
You guys could get this by email.
Right, I read it.
So the recording is off and recording is.
This conference will now be recorded.
Any action from the closed session that you wish to take?
Okay, so where's the actual spot there?
It was in page 2, 3A.
Not to oppose,
Cottage Grove agrees not to oppose annexation to Madison within the potential expansion area.
so where would the word be then?
In the sentence that Chris just read, it would be after oppose and before annexation. So where it says Cottage Grove agrees not to oppose annexation, it would read Cottage Grove agrees not to oppose unanimous annexation.
Annexations to Madison.
I make a motion that we send this back to
Madison.
To add the word unanimous at that spot between oppose and annexation. And see what they want, what they'll do.
And indicate to them that we would sign it if they make that change.
We would approve after.
Receiving the document.
Well, and having a listening session with our town residents again. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Another listening session, public hearing, or what do you?
I don't know if you want to.
Public information.
Public information.
Meeting?
Motion by Fonder, second by Duplace, to add that word unanimous, to oppose an annexation, and to then have that we would approve it pending our public information meeting.
Would the approval come before or after the public information meeting?
After, yeah.
So we're going to approve it tonight if they make the change, or contingent upon that.
So we're gonna,
Contingent on the change, we'll tell them that we would sign it, but we are going to have a public information meeting, and then we would sign it.
Public information meeting after they put that word in.
After that,
But you're gonna sign it no matter what happens at the public information meeting then?
they'll have to make the motion to sign it. We're just indicating to Madison that we would sign it. We haven't voted on it, but all
So you
indications,
would consider signing it.
we would consider signing it after the public
information
meeting session, yeah.
That's fine with me.
all those in favor of that motion, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Wish you luck.
Thanks.
So when do we actually vote on after the
Information.
change is officially made?
Yeah, and at that point, then we'll
Explain what?
have a final document, then we'll post information, well, it'll be a discuss and consider for the town board, but
Yeah,
So you're probably gonna wanna do that at a board meeting, not the annual meeting like you discussed previously.
yeah.
Okay.
Because we could probably do that possibly as early as 3/7 then.
I think the big thing is right now that we can pull out of this anytime we want if we don't like it, what they're doing,
Yeah.
period. That's the difference in what we would have signed.
Right.
And
Move
then,
we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams, non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.